Hello everyone, GoodraFTW here. Welcome back to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. So, if you haven't logged in, there's a lot going on here lately. The most important things here, we have a new ship and a new character to get. The ship being the Houndstooth, which is Bosk's ship, and the new character being Aurra. So, it does suck that they are marquee events still. But, I mean, it is what it is. We did actually get a new event. It was only around for yesterday. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to record it, but it was something about contraband, which goes into something new that they did, and they added a new tag to 5 different ships, and it is the cargo ship tag. As you can see up there on the top beside Attacker, it is a cargo ship. So the ships that are now cargo ships are both Millennium Falcons, so Episode 7 and Lando's Millennium Falcon, the Slave One, and the Phantom and Ghost, the Phoenix ships. So they did, like I said, they did get a new event, so I applaud them for that. It's kind of a mix between the Galactic Bounties and an Assault Battle. It's probably more like an Assault Battle than anything. But it does require cargo ships. Right now there's only 5 in the game. I'm sure they will add more eventually. I'm not sure if the Houndstooth is one. Actually, we can go check that real quick. I wouldn't think it is. It doesn't really look like a cargo ship. Yeah, it's not. Okay. But apparently this ship is a really, really good tank. Unfortunately, it's going to be like half a year before we have it at 7 stars, which sucks, but it is what it is. We also have farming locations for Enfys Nest, the Range Trooper, Young Lando, is it L4 or L3? I think it's L4. L3, I'm a liar. So basically the rest of the solo characters are now farmable, along with Lando's ship. So about time. The one thing that makes me sad is that Enfys Nest is... or Enfys Nest, I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. She's on the ship hard node 5D, which is super difficult to even do, much less 3-star. But I'm sure I'll get it eventually when she's power crept. But anyways, I want to go ahead and go through these marquee events really quick. Just kind of unlock this crap and get it over with. But so since I haven't done a video about any marquee events lately, but it seems that we have. If you guys haven't seen it, I've made a top 10 list of characters I'd like to see in the game. It's been a little while, and now that Aurra Sing, spoiler alert, was on my list. And Embo was actually also on my list as well. So we actually have 2 of the 10 characters that I said I wanted to see. So it just seems like they're giving bounty hunters quite a bit of love, which is pretty awesome. It makes you wonder like what's coming next, because there's a particular certain bounty hunter that's pretty well requested, and they said they wanted a good time, like they wanted a good timeline to actually release him. Like they didn't want to just release him out of the blue, just make it kind of gradual and find the right time to add him in. And of course I'm talking about Jango Fett. So it seems like they're actually gearing up to some more bounty hunter stuff. So I think Jango Fett is the obvious next step. I know I'm skipping through the kits. We'll talk about the kits of Houndstooth and Aurra later. Aurra is actually really good. It's going to seem for big damage against some of the raid bosses, because there's an attack she does whenever a raid boss is toppled. It does like 200% more damage, which is just ridiculous. But if we look at the bounty hunters that they've been working on and that they have been giving lately, so we got Embo, Cad Bane got reworked, and now we just got Aurra Sing. So I'm not sure if you have seen the Clone Wars animated series or not, but Aurra Sing is actually in it. She helps young Boba Fett out, which we could probably also get a young Boba Fett for all we know. It'd be weird, but it is very possible. But like I said, they were in the Clone Wars animated series, which means it's more geared towards prequel, and I'm stretching it a bit here, but it only seems like the that Jango Fett would be pretty close to next in line to be added to the game, especially with all the bounty hunter love that they're giving. And it seems like the bounty hunter squad, they're trying to gear up more towards a PvE or raid team than arena, I guess. It always seems like arena is always going to it's going to shift between rival factions. So like Empire and Rebels are always going to be in the meta, and Jedi and Sith are always going to be in the meta. There's not really a huge place for kind of hodgepodge teams very often. I know there is a Rex team that has like Rex and Wampa and oh man, who else? Talzin and stuff like that. And I guess the Night Sisters were a different team than like a normal faction in the game. But I mean, it is what it is. But they do seem like they're focusing on bounty hunters quite a bit, and they seem like they're gearing them more towards being a raid friendly team, because they're obviously, if you've watched other videos, other creators, they've been doing huge damage in the Sith raid in particular for with all these bounty hunters. So, and I'm sure Aurra Sing is just going to help that even further. I think actually in the last phase, if I remember, you can topple Traya, or it could be in phases 3 and 4 you can topple Traya. All you got to do is get rid of her lightsabers. But yeah, that's pretty nifty, I suppose. This video is already going pretty long. This battle's almost over, so instead of going through the marquee event for Aurra Sing, we'll just go ahead and talk about her kit. We're going to go into it. We'll also talk about the Houndstooth's kit. Basically, the Houndstooth is always going to be taunting constantly, and I think it'll gain protection quite a bit as well. But like I said, we'll talk about it here in a second. I'm not sure what its reinforcement ability is, but we're going to go ahead and activate it. Now it is a weird looking ship. I guess that top part, it looks like a little bit of a an out perch, like ledge box thing. A little box that's sitting on the front of it. That looks like the cockpit, which I think is pretty nifty looking. Alright. This is a unique ability here. So we have Trandoshan Barricade. Houndstooth gains 25% protection up, which is stacking, whenever it takes damage from an enemy's attack. While not taunting, it has plus 50% tenacity and gains plus 25% turn meter whenever another ally takes damage from an enemy's attack. Attacks that deal damage multiple times will not trigger these effects more than once. When Houndstooth loses taunt, it gains taunt for 1 turn if an enemy is breached. While Houndstooth is active, breached enemies have minus 25% evasion. Alright, so it kind of seems like a mix between Infus Nest and Old Ben, where it gains taunt after it loses taunt, and then it's gaining protection whenever it takes damage. So it's gonna survive a long time, and you're probably gonna need Chimera to take it out. So let's see its other abilities. This looks like its basic attack here. So you deal physical damage to target enemy and dispel all debuffs on Houndstooth. Houndstooth recovers 10% health and 10% protection if it has taunt. So this is basically just a recovery option. It's not really, I think it's going to hit pretty soft. I don't think it's going to do a lot of damage at all. It's just there so he can gain some protection and kind of survive a little longer than normal. So his next one here, Devourer of Prey. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict breach for 3 turns, which can't be evaded and Houndstooth gains Taunt for 2 turns. So, I'm not sure what this breach is. I think it might be new to him, but it doesn't explain it anywhere. I don't know if breach actually does anything. It might just be sort of similar to the what is the scoundrel buff that they just added recently? I don't even remember. Prepared. It might be similar to prepared, where it doesn't really do anything, but it's just something to put on somebody to activate other effects. So its reinforcement ability here is grant all other allies plus 25% tenacity. Other bounty hunter allies also gain plus 5% counter chance whenever they resist a detrimental effect. So I really don't think you're gonna want to bring this in after the fact very often. I think you want this thing to survive as long as you can make it survive, and then maybe bring in Biggs later just for some extra survivability, because I'm sure a lot of people, if they can last long enough, they're probably going to want to use the Chimera on this thing. So then you're going to want to bring in a secondary taunter to just be annoying. But that's just what I think. So that is the Houndstooth. It looks like it's really going to be a great ship. It's got a really complex, well, not really complex, it's just more, it's a little more sophisticated of a kit, which ships probably needs just to spice things up a bit. So hopefully we'll get more ships as well, sort of similar to this caliber. So we'll go ahead and we'll look at Aurra Sing. So here she is in all her head antenna glory. Alright, so her basic here is Weakening Shot. Deal physical damage to target enemy with a 70% chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn. If the target was debuffed, Aurra Sing gains 20% turn meter. So not bad. Speed her up a little bit. Alright, so her first special here. Aurra Sing gains critical chance up and offense up for 3 turns and deals plus 35% more damage with her next ability. Alright, so this is going to be setting up, for her big attack that we're going to look at here in just a second. And then if she is already stealth, she gains a bonus turn. So she's going to use this if she's stealth, and then she's going to get ready to use Sniper's Expertise on the raid boss that's toppled. Deal physical damage to target enemy. If the target is toppled, this attack deals 200% more damage, and this ability's cooldown is reset. So it does show you there. Only raid bosses can be toppled. So she's definitely built for raids. That's why I think bounty hunters are going more in the way of being raid boss teams. So that's pretty neat. But so you're doing 20% more damage than normal if the boss is toppled. Plus, if you use the hustle ability beforehand, you'll do an extra 35% more damage. So it's gonna be a crazy amount of damage there. So she does have a leader ability. Bounty hunter and scoundrel allies have plus 30% offense while stealthed. At the start of battle, and whenever a bounty hunter ally defeats an enemy, all bounty hunter attacker allies gain stealth for 2 turns. When Aurra Sing is in the leader slot and not the ally slot, the following contract is active. Use an ability while buffed 10 times, and then the reward is all bounty hunter allies gain plus 50% counter chance and their payouts are activated. Bounty hunter allies recover 25% protection and gain 25% turn meter whenever an enemy is defeated. Alright, so that's pretty cool. That definitely makes it a little more PvE friendly as well, going through a bunch of different like encounters to just kind of get rid of some ads, but pretty cool. So her unique here, Relentless Killer. Aurra Sing has plus 40% critical damage. This bonus is doubled while stealthed. Whenever a bounty hunter ally defeats an enemy, Aurra Sing gains 10% critical chance, which is stacking for the rest of the battle. Alright, not bad. I didn't think about it, but this leader ability might, yeah, it says Zeta. So without the Zeta, okay, so without the Zeta, you don't get the stealth and you don't get the turn meter gain for killing enemies. So not bad. Alright, and then we have her payout here. Whenever she receives a reward from a contract, she gains the following payout. She has plus 25% offense, 50% health still, and whenever she uses a special ability, she gains stealth for 1 turn. So that's also going to help her with her hustle into sniper's expertise during a raid. So it's gonna be a really good character to take in against like the Rancor or the tank or stuff like that. Once again, it's gonna be a shame that us free-to-play guys, we're not gonna be able to unlock her for, well, we're not gonna be able to use her in the higher tiers of raids for a very long time. But at least we'll get her eventually. Hopefully she comes a lot faster than they added Infus Nest, because it just seemed like it took forever. So I do feel like the next bounty hunter on the list is the only one that hasn't been reworked, which is good old, where's she at? She's gotta be up here. You guys already know who I'm talking about, though, I'm sure. There she is, Zam Wessel. So Zam is definitely the last bounty hunter on the slate. I don't even... Oh, I forgot they changed mods up as well. Oh man, there's so much going on. Which means they may have added the mod management. No, they haven't. I don't guess so. But they have changed mods. You do have, like, okay, I'll go in here and show you real quick. Never mind, I can't. Alright, so maybe they haven't added in the functionality. They are doing a special bonus campaign here. In anticipation of mod slicing, we have added mod salvage as bonus drops on all light side and dark side hard nodes. This salvage will be used to slice mods once we release that update, which I imagine would come very soon, especially since they've already changed the way the mods look. So basically it's a way for it's just another thing you have to grind for, essentially. So, but anyways, what I was talking about with Zam Wessel, she's the last bounty hunter that hasn't been reworked. She probably is in need of one. Probably just kind of help her out with her thermal detonators and whatnot. And she doesn't have any payout. But my guess is when they decide to add in Boba Fett is whenever they will rework Zam. Or not Boba Fett, Jango Fett. I think when Jango Fett comes, Zam will get reworked. It makes sense because Aurra Singh, I think she did work with Cad Bane quite a bit. And then, obviously, Zam, the only time we see her, she's working for Jango. So, makes sense. But that's all I got for today. There's been a lot going on lately, which is new. So, but thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Go ahead and subscribe. We'll see what else Capital Games has in store for us in the future, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.